In this video, I'm going to show you how we added an extra 151,000 in monthly revenue for this high 7-figure e-commerce brand, and how we had to repair the extreme damage their previous email agency had caused on their Klaviyo account, such as completely running their email deliverability into the ground. By the time you're done watching this video, you'll know what good email metrics look like, if your current email team is doing a good job or not, and how to actually maximize revenue for your e-commerce brand with email marketing. So let's get into the video. All right, so as you can see, this is when we started working with this brand. So April 1st is when we came in, when we onboarded this client. And now just a few months later, we're making them 171,000 in monthly revenue with email marketing. So obviously a huge increase there. And yeah, we'll go through exactly how we did that. So some context from before we came in. So obviously the founders of this brand are very much like most other e-commerce founders, at least the ones that we interact with. So they don't really dream about actually sitting inside their Klaviyo account every single day, looking at the numbers or writing or designing or uploading emails into the platform. They've got tons of other stuff that they should do and want to do. So they hired what they thought at the time were specialists to actually take email marketing off their hands. So this is a quick kind of summary of what actually happened there. Unfortunately, as we see a lot these days, those specialists were light years better at actually selling their agency service to these e-commerce founders than they were at actually fulfilling it. So these are the numbers from before we came in. So as you can see, 5% open rate on this campaign, 2% open rate on this campaign, 22%, just 22% is already bad enough. And then we're dipping down to 2% and 5%. So completely outrageous, obviously not acceptable in any way. So critical open rates, suboptimal click rates as well. And obviously sales are lacking because click rates and open rates are super critical. So this is kind of the average open rate from February to the end of March. These numbers aren't really what your Klaviyo should be looking like. So if your numbers are looking like this, then yeah, you've got some work to do there. How the previous email team failed. So they were only sending 4 campaigns per month, way too little. Like you want to send a lot more. They sent every single campaign to unengaged profiles. The email design was off-brand, pretty boring as well. The email copy wasn't as relatable as it could be, wasn't really engaging at all. The pop-up was underperforming at only a 6% submit rate, and the email flows were too short with pretty inefficient settings. The damage that this caused, yeah, this is what that kind of looks like, and probably felt for these e-commerce founders once we kind of came in and told them what the reality of the situation were. They had no steady profits from their email marketing channel. They were overly dependent on paid ads to actually maintain their cash flow, and they couldn't make use of more than only 6% of their email marketing list of their entire database of profiles that they have obviously paid a lot of money to collect in the first place with Facebook ads. So, and yeah, they were heading towards kind of having their domain blacklisted everywhere, pretty much, yeah, due to this bad sender reputation, because that is what happens once you're sending emails that obviously no one engages with. These are the numbers after we've now worked with them for quite a while, for a few months. So as you can see, 35% open rates, 50% open rate, 33, 40%, 36%, 46%, sorry, and 50%. So obviously we're still in the process of actually completely optimizing this brand's deliverability, because this is the worst case we've ever had, where like we've never seen anything like this, where email deliverability has been run into the ground this badly. So we're still in the process of actually kind of really optimizing this, because they are still on blacklists. It's pretty much fixed, but just with these small fixes, like we're already generating them 5,000, 2.4 thousand, 2.3, 4,000 again, 3.4 thousand. So a lot more revenue than they were before. So healthy open rates, great click rates, and consistent revenue is what they're seeing now from their email channel. So this is the average open rate from June to the end of July. So average open rate 47%, click rate is now about 3%. And yeah, everything is looking a lot better. This is how we turn things around in just 4 months. And the process we kind of took here, which we really take with every client, is that we do an end-to-end audit first. Then we build a custom success roadmap based on all of the findings we see in the audit. We obviously go in and implement and optimize ongoingly. So the first thing we really did here is we improved the email copy and design. So the email design didn't really do the brand justice in any way. So they had tons of great content from the shoots that they had and they were doing, and they weren't really using that to the fullest extent. The email designs weren't really following best practices when it came to like conversion rate optimization and actually guiding the eyes of the readers, because that's what you need to be good at with email design, at least. Like you're guiding the eyes of the readers, so you kind of control where they actually look. And that's also why you don't want to have too much within an email, like too much info, talk about too many topics, because yeah, you want to make sure you actually control what people look at. So a lot of their emails also had way too much copy and longer blocks of text. Attention spans are way too short for that these days. Most people skim email copy, so you have to actually adapt to that. We also fully overhauled all of their email copy and made it a lot more concise, short, and sweet, exactly because of what I mentioned, attention spans. They aren't looking too good these days. We gave their entire email channel a full design refresh and obviously improved their copy just to enhance their brand image right away. So this is kind of a quick example of that, what the emails before looked like. This is what they look like now. So the second thing we did here is that we went into deliverability repair mode. So very, very necessary. So with all of their previous emails going to unengaged profiles, which is again insane, we had to prioritize actually fixing this first before we went on and focused on really maximizing revenue as we can now. So we paused all low engagement flows, the less important flows, to avoid damaging deliverability further, because we didn't want these less important emails working against us while we're trying to fix deliverability. So we had to temporarily also enable double opt-in. Obviously not really fun, because you want to make sure you're really collecting all of the qualified emails that you can, but we had to enable double opt-in to really ensure that all the new signups, they actually are somewhat engaged with this brand before we send them emails. So we also sent every single campaign strictly to highly engaged audiences until deliverability was kind of good enough before we could start broadening our sending segment. So what that really looks like is starting out with something like a 14-day engagement. Once that's looking good and you're sending a few consistent campaigns there with 50-60% open rates, then we're starting to expand that to like 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, 180-day engaged segments. Then what we did is we also created tighter segments for email providers like Google and Outlook, because these had the worst deliverability. So you can see this when you're inside Klaviyo and you go into the deliverability tab either under the individual campaign or just under deliverability, the deliverability section. So you can see if something like Outlook, if that's the inbox provider where you're getting the lowest open rates, but all the other ones like Google, Yahoo, all of that stuff, they're looking fine. Then you can kind of create specific segments that ensures you're not limiting all of the inbox providers that look good. You're only like tightening the segment on the inbox provider that's obviously underperforming. So that's exactly what we did there. These are now the current deliverability metrics that you can see right here. So open rate, again, 45%, click rate 2%, and bounce rate is also looking super, super good. So we revamped the pop-up as well. So like I mentioned, it was only seeing a 6% submit rate, which is decent for some brands. Some brands will not be able to get higher than a 6% submit rate. It's mostly like high ticket brands really from what we've seen. So we knew the potential here was a lot higher because this wasn't really kind of a high ticket brand. So we created a completely new and high converting pop-up both for mobile and desktop visitors. What that looked like is that it went from a 6% submit rate to a 9% submit rate pretty consistently. So there was obviously an improvement of 50% plus, meaning the brand was now growing their email list 50% faster than they were before. So this is the before kind of screenshot, and this is the after screenshot. So as you can see, 9% submit rate right there. So obviously pretty good. So then what we did is we increased the campaign volume. So instead of only sending 4 campaigns per month, which obviously is way too little for any brand and especially a 7-figure brand, we started sending 12 campaigns per month. So this increase in campaign frequency also meant that we could improve our deliverability a lot faster, because we obviously were sending to only engaged segments. So every single campaign we sent was now boosting our sender reputation. Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, all of those guys, they can see that people are now actually engaging with our emails. So we should probably start sending these emails to inboxes instead of spam folders. So that's why you want to send more emails when you actually obviously optimize deliverability. So with more campaigns going out every single week and every month, we kind of created a monthly campaign calendar that was focused on 75% content driven emails and then 25% more promo discount focused emails. So this is kind of just 2 quick screenshots of some campaigns without any discounts or offers. So 5,000 from this one and 4,200 from this one. So then what we did is we optimized the flow strategy. So we implemented all the proven email flow timings and filters right away based on what we obviously know worked the best for other like 7 and 8-figure brands that we work with. Obviously now we're kind of optimizing all of this based on testing, because every brand is different, but it's good to have obviously proven frameworks to begin with. We added the correct profile filters here to also ensure that email subscribers weren't really kind of spammed with a lot of different abandonment emails, because they didn't have these profile filters in place before. So people could receive browse abandonment emails, abandoned cart, and abandoned checkout emails at the same time. Obviously, that's way too much. Completely different parts of the kind of customer journey. So you want to make sure they're only in one of these at a time. Obviously, the one that's most relevant to where they're at in the customer journey. Once deliverability improved by a lot here, we also added more emails in our flows to convert more buyers in our welcome and abandonment flows, and then also nurture customers better in our post-purchase flows. Then we also created the remaining email and SMS flows the account needed to actually maximize revenue. So something like win-back flows, replenishment flows, all that stuff. So here's just a quick screenshot of some recent flow results. So obviously looking super, super good. Just the welcome series alone generating 85,000. So what we did here and what's super, super key for continuous optimization on any account is non-stop A/B testing. So the account had pretty much no ongoing optimization done throughout every single month or year before we came in. So we consistently run 6 to 10 A/B tests every single month on their account now. What we do here is that we kind of focus on the most high leverage areas of their account where the potential upside is the biggest, instead of wasting time split testing flows where they're only seeing like 300 recipients every single month, because you're not really going to see any significant results from that. So it's a lot better to actually focus on something like your welcome series, abandonment flows, campaigns, where most of your traffic is coming from. So intentional and high leverage A/B testing is the one thing that obviously takes you from good email marketing to great email marketing, again, regardless of what brand you are. So here's just a quick snapshot of a time delay split test, just so you can see what that looks like. So that is the rundown of this case study. So it's how we took this brand from 19,000 per month to 171,000 per month. The extra monthly revenue now means that this brand is now seeing an extra 1.8 million at least every single year. And obviously this will only continue to increase with the more optimizations we make and the more we strengthen this brand's deliverability. They're also seeing consistent revenue and profit actually coming from their email marketing compared to before, where they couldn't rely on it at all. They also, like, the company won't just disappear overnight if meta ads just suddenly go unprofitable for a few days. Now they can actually kind of rely on email marketing as well. Deliverability is looking a lot better than ever. Email sales will only really continue to grow from here, like I mentioned before. And the founders don't really have to dedicate any thoughts or worries to their email channel anymore, exactly as they had to do before when we came in and told them, oh, things are not really looking too good here. So that covers it for this case study. Hope you got a ton of value from seeing how we added an extra 151,000 to this e-commerce brand's monthly revenue. If you run an e-commerce brand doing over 50K per month and you want more help with your email marketing, book a call with me. There's a link in the description. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video.